guys, it's Reagan and welcome to the start of another reading vlog. It's nearing the end of the month, friends, and that means one thing. We gotta get some books read, or rather, more than one thing. We have to get some books read, and two, I'm very distracted. Nonetheless though, I'm really looking forward to the books I have for this TBR. It's a very interesting mix of like cozy and romantic and absolutely brutal, which I feel like is a good descriptor of the books I like to read generally. But without further ado, let's chat about the books. So here are the three books that are on my TBR. The first are like cozy and romantic. First off, we have Arsenic and Adobo, which is a cozy mystery story about a young woman whose like ex-boyfriend and food critic dies after eating at her family restaurant, and she has to begin to investigate and solve the murder. Then I have Half a Soul, which is the first book to the like Fae Regency romance series. It follows our main character who in fact has half a soul, and it's the beginning of the season and she's trying to lay low, but she gets wrapped up in a very dashing and mysterious like Lord's world. Both these books sound adorable, really easy to read. Neither of them are that long, so I also feel like they'll be quick reads, which I also need at this point. And then the last book that's on my TBR is The Last Arguments of Kings by Joe Abercrombie. I've been reading this throughout the entire month. I am pretty far. I'm on 367 as it stands. I just want to kind of read this intermittently throughout this week as well, maybe in the mornings, and just like slowly begin to make my way through. It's so good so far. I'm really enjoying it, and I just find with like longer fantasy reads, I like to kind of read them throughout the month and then intermix like shorter books to help me feel like I'm actually getting through my TBR, if that makes sense. But that is my TBR. It is actually after 5 on a Tuesday, and so I'm actually going to begin to start dinner. It's mostly just leftovers for tonight. Clay and I do have plans. We're gonna go to something called Blues on the Greens in Austin. It's basically like every month there is a jazz performance at a big park called Silker Park. It's super hot outside, but we will be there when the sun is mostly down, so it should still be enjoyable. We're meeting up with my friend Emily there. I'm looking forward to it, to get out of the house and do something kind of classically Austin. Matilda is right there. But that is, oh, I zoomed in on accident. That is the plan. I'm going to get settled in for the rest of the night and start the process of making dinner and reading, which I think I'm gonna start with Half a Soul because I'm craving romance. I just can't stop with the romance. So for dinner, I have this leftover bulgogi I made last night, but I am making some fresh, like, pan-fried zucchini, which you just cook for a few minutes, drizzle or cover, smother in this gochujang sauce. And I got the recipe from this cookbook I picked up recently, Korean American by Eric Kim. So many good recipes in here I want to try, but I'm actually making another recipe from this for tomorrow night for dinner. But I started with that zucchini recipe and it's so good. Really so yum, takes no time. If you could just smell this. Yum, bon appetit.
It's mostly just like the first couple minutes after I've been sitting.
We're on our way to see some jazz. Friends, and just like that, I am back home. It was honestly a really lovely night. Texas is really hot during the day, but the evenings are honestly not so bad. A bit sticky, but it was really nice to hang out at Silker, listen to some jazz music, and just hang out and enjoy some nice company. But now it's honestly kind of late, so I'm gonna get changed into pajamas and actually start my first book of this vlog, which is Half a Soul. I'm still craving, honestly, romance since my last vlog, so I'm hoping this is going to fit the bill. It's very short, it's under 300 pages, so I also hope I can just like fly through it, but I'm gonna get started on this book now, and I will check in with you guys in the morning. Millie's here, so I apologize for all those noises she was making. Good morning, everyone. Good news is I do have a reading update for you, as I've read a quick 60 pages, so let's sit down and chat. Hi friends, good morning from Matilda and I wanted to pop in and talk about Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater, as I have read 60 pages of this book. This book is not super long. I think it's about like 250 pages. So I'm honestly like a decent part of the way through at least. And honestly, this book is living up to everything I could have wanted it to be. It's charming, it's endearing, it's funny, it's cute, and romantic, which is exactly what I wanted from a little Regency romance propriety like fantasy story. So again, in this book, we follow our main character, Dora, and she has half a soul. At the beginning of the story and in her childhood, she was basically cursed by a fairy, and in his attack, he stole half of her soul. This results in Dora kind of having almost like a curtain put in front of her emotions. She's not easily bothered, but also this kind of results in her not just being like awkward in social situations. She doesn't feel happiness as intensely as others. Sadness, anger, distress, fear, all of these emotions have been greatly hindered. In the story as well, Dora is very close to her cousin Vanessa, and Vanessa is like cheerful and sweet and beautiful. And at the beginning of this book, they're basically being introduced into society to find a husband. Dora and Dora's family are not too concerned or really have high expectations for the type of match Dora is able to find, mostly because of her personality. It's kind of a turnoff to most people around her, but Vanessa has very high hopes and really wants to see her cousin settled as well. At the beginning of this book, there is an interaction between Dora, Vanessa, and another individual named Albert, mostly around Dora's curse. And basically there's an agreement that is made between the Lord Sorcerer, Elias, to help Dora break her curse. What's so fun about this book so far is that instead of it being like the classic sunshine girl and grumpy man, it's more like there are two grumpy people and two sunshine people, and the grumpy people are paired together and the sunshine people are like their best friends trying to help them and find the best for themselves. So Dora is such a good combatant to Lord Sorcerer because she is literally, quite literally unbothered to all of the very rude things that he says, which also kind of puts him off balance because, well, she's not reacting, so how else are they going to communicate? And then his best friend Albert and her cousin and her best friend Vanessa are like so sweet and so kind. And I do believe this is going to be like a dual romance story. We're going to follow Dora fall in love and Vanessa fall in love, and hopefully also solve this mystery of this fairy curse. I also feel pretty strongly that while this is impacting our main character Dora, once it's removed, like her personality isn't going to like starkly change. She'll just hopefully be able to feel more strongly. You know what I mean? But so far it's really charming. The dialogue, the characters, the setting, it's like exactly what you would want from a story like this. I'm very entertained. I did read a quick 60 pages. I'm gonna sit down now and read more. I honestly feel like I'll be able to read all of this today. I tend to speed read romances because I honestly just can't help myself, but just wanted to let you know what I'm thinking so far, and it's all very, very positive. It's so cute so far. Lunch missing crackers currently, but Clay is on the way to grab some, but you know, classic adult lunchable situation. Gonna watch, I don't know, a show of something with lunch today. I've decided, I think Real Housewives of something. So yeah, there we go. Also, Clay and I have started Below Deck, incredible stuff. Have I done an OOTD? I'm not sure, but this is one of my favorite dresses. I bought it, ooh, 2-3 years ago from a brand named Doen. Anyway, I thought I would show it off. It is the afternoon. Let's go make some coffee. I've just been working, but we're gonna get back into reading. And now it's back to reading. I've had to close this door because Matilda mysteriously discovered that she can actually reach into the trash. Isn't that right, Millie? So we have to go and emergency buy a new trash can that this little girlfriend can't dig her little face into. But for now, the kitchen door stays closed. Hello everyone. So I'm happy to report I have read 150 pages of of Half a Soul. And honestly, this book is continuing to be delightful. It's cute, it's charming, there's banter, there's heart. You're just gonna fall in love with the characters and just enjoy it. If you love romantic stories with like a hint of fantasy, this is such a great book to pick up. I wouldn't say it's very steamy. It's definitely more on the yearning end of the spectrum. It's more like soft touches and prolonged eye contact and like wishing to be near someone, if you will. But it's really, really cute so far. It also has a bit more depth than I was really expecting. So as I said, this follows our main character Dora and Elias, and the story so far is really just about them getting to know each other, but also trying to solve some various magical problems. One, Dora's personal issue, which is the fact that she has half a soul, but also there's like a magical plague that is targeting young children who are in workhouses. So there's definitely like a societal aspect of this book as well. Watching Dora and Elias like get to know each other, challenge each other, and kind of go head to head with each other. Like Dora's no stranger to do verbal sparring, and just seeing them like go back and forth, it's just really engaging and endearing, and like slowly watching them become comfortable with one another is also great as well. I also think the component of Dora's emotions being dampened is an interesting plot element, and you can slowly see like with her pushing herself and challenging herself, like she is becoming more emotional. And it has nothing to do with magic, you know? And I think that's kind of like a sweet touch too. But this book is just really engaging. Like it's sweet. Like you know it's gonna have a happy ending. You're rooting for the main characters. You like the main characters. And it has a lot of the propriety stuff that's really entertaining as well. You know, like chaperones and calling cards and balls and dances. Like it has all of that with just a dash of the fantastical, which I think is working so well. But yeah, I've read 150 pages. This book is about 270 pages. Yeah. So I'm gonna try to finish it tonight. I'm well over halfway, but I do have some chores that I need to do around the house, which I'm gonna do now. Make dinner and hang out with Clay and stuff, as it is like past 6 p.m. But I am pretty pleased that I was able to get all that reading done. So there's my update. I am in my new Taylor Swift crew neck, and we're gonna start dinner. I am trying another recipe. I'm trying another recipe from my cookbook that I made the zucchini from. Really excited about this. I've never made this before, but I've seen it a lot on TV and it always looks really good and spicy. It's like a stewed braised drumstick recipe. So I have all the ingredients. I even got like a specific type of green onion called like a king green onion. It's like a Korean green onion and they're massive. So I'm really excited to make this. I'm more excited to eat it. So let's get started. We stan a recipe that calls for 8 cloves of garlic. Love to see it. I mean, truly, look how incredible this green onion is. I'm so excited about this. Anyway, okay. I have all this prepped and my chicken is currently boiling with my little sauce for a little while. I'm gonna throw everything in, cover it, and cook it for about 30 minutes. Already smelling delicious. And dinner is done. Just gonna serve this up with some rice, top it with some green onions. It looks so good, so cozy. I fully am just pretending it's fall, and this just looks like a hearty, spicy, delicious meal. And dinner is served. Starting this very popular K-drama. I've heard such good things about it from literally everyone, so we're giving it a try. K-drama watching is over. It is time to read. Hi friends, I'm dressed a bit like I'm about to go to a picnic. Very summery. I have just been working and reading all day. I need to make lunch. It's like 1 p.m. I'm starving. But just want to say hello. I did finish Half a Soul, which I really loved. I'll give you my final thoughts and feelings in a bit. Matilda has just been so lazy, but first I'm gonna make lunch and then we'll check in. And I'm also gonna start my second book, which is the cozy mystery option, which I can't wait. I've been dying to read it for months. Ultimate lunch break. Love Captain Sandy in this household. Hi friends, so lunch is consumed and I wanted to do a reading check-in for Half a Soul because I finished this book. It's 250 pages. And it was delightful through and through. It delivered exactly what I wanted, which was a charming, like, Regency romance with a little bit of fantasy, and that's exactly what this was. I can't wait to read more books by this author. It had great dialogue, it had great chemistry, it was endearing, the characters were likable, the writing was good, and even, like, the fantasy conflict was like well thought out and was like logical and actually like rather intense. Like, truthfully, I enjoyed this so much, and I really love romance books. Sometimes I want to read a steamy one, and sometimes I want to read more of a sweet one that's just about like just falling in love and all of that, and this was definitely that. I really liked it. I also liked the message. I loved Dora. I thought her like banter back and forth with our main character, Elias, was great. It's so good, and I can't wait to run into other characters in this world. And I love that it's connected to fairy, like a fairy world as well. I think that's a great inspiration for the magic. It's great for characters, great, just great all around. And honestly, this delivered everything I could have wanted, so cheers to that. I am gonna start a second book today because I've read 250 pages so far, and that is Arsenic and Adobo by Mia P. Manansala. This is a cozy mystery story, which I'm also hoping is just endearing and funny and more family oriented, which I feel like it's going to be. I've heard really good things about this, and just I've been wanting to get into the cozy mystery genre game because it honestly feels right up my alley. I mean, honestly, put cozy in front of any genre and I'm there. Like, is there a cozy horror story? Probably, you know? Maybe I should write a cozy horror story for the people who are don't have the stomach to be scared that much. But anyway, this is the next book I'm going to read. I do have some more work I need to get done today, but I'm gonna start this a bit later in the afternoon. But so far, so great. I do need to set some time aside to read more of my Joe Abercrombie book, but I'm feeling like so happy from this book and this book. Like, I'm not quite sure I want to venture quite yet back into the gruesomeness that is The Last Argument of Kings, because it is so gruesome, but I am loving it. Anyway, that's my reading check-in. I'm excited to jump into book 2, and I will keep you guys updated with all my thoughts and feelings. It's perfect time for some afternoon coffee. Also, LOL, Clay and I started a DIY project of covering up our laminate with vinyl and then only did that piece. We like it though, but we need to finish the rest of this counter. Alrighty, I am sitting down to read until I can convince Clay to go get a sweet treat with me, but reading first. I convinced Clay in regards to the sweet treat.
4-piece chicken strips.
4-piece chicken strips?
Yep.
Alrighty, did you want to add a drink to that?
No, thank you.
Alright.
So, good news, bad news is we accidentally left the leftovers out all night last night, so my pre-planned dinner is no more. But the good news is my backup dinner is Spam. So all's well that ends well, because I love Spam in this household. So I'm gonna whip this up. My rice is already done, and I'm gonna watch some anime, and then Clay's gonna come and we're going to watch some of that new K-drama that we started. My blizzard was delicious. Good pre-dinner dessert. Best time to have it, in my opinion. Oh, and I also started Arsenic and Adobo, and it's so engaging so far. I love the writing style, and it's made me starving because it's primarily, at least so far, set in a restaurant, and all of the food and all the talk about food made me hungry. And I don't care if someone just ate some of it and dropped dead, I'm still interested. But anyway, I'm gonna fry up some Spam now and watch some anime. Matilda just follows me around the house and lays on carpets. Like, how pathetic she looks. Anyway, time to get cooking. Dinner is complete. I'm also starting a new anime, Kami-sama Kiss. I love starting things. I'm terrible at finishing shows, but I love starting shows. But anyway, we're gonna watch this. I hope it's cute, so wish me luck. On to episode 2, and then reading. Good morning, friends. Coffee is acquired, and I actually owe you an update on this book. Hi friends, I am freshly awake, so I apologize in advance if I'm incoherent in any capacity. But I wanted to do a reading update for Arsenic and Adobo because I'm about to sit down and read more. But before I do that, I want to let you know about what I've already read, because I've read 40 pages so far and I'm already really pulled in by this book. So the premise of the story is we follow our main character, Lila, and at the beginning of this tale, she's kind of living like a classic rom-com opening act, if you will. She's just moved back to her small hometown from the big city after a terrible breakup that she had with her previous chef boyfriend. She had dreams of opening up her own cafe, all of these things, but this has kind of come crashing to a halt, and now she's back where she grew up. In her small hometown, she's working at her family's restaurant, which sells Filipino food. And based on the 40 pages of food descriptions I've gotten so far, I am so hungry, as I said, reading this book, because everything sounds delicious. But the catch of this book is it shifts from rom-com to murder mystery real fast when her ex-boyfriend, a different ex-boyfriend from high school, comes in, and he's a food critic. And he is constantly tearing down her family's restaurant in the local paper. But then he dies. Like, he eats the food there and he dies, like, basically at the table. And now they find themselves, the family does, in the midst of like a criminal investigation. And our main character, Lila, is going to take it on herself, I think, in terms of like trying to solve this murder. This is described as a cozy mystery, and I definitely see why. First and foremost, the writing is really, really charming. The restaurant setting, like the entire vibe feels like a holiday movie, though it isn't holiday at all, but like, you know what I mean? But obviously there is a murder at the heart of it. So like, as much as it is cozy and charming, there is like this sort of intense plot element moving the book forward. And also, all the characters are just so easy to root for. Like, you don't have to worry about there being like an unreliable narrator or some sort of plot twist in regards to our main character. You like her, you're rooting for her, and you want to solve this mystery. So it has this interesting combination, and I feel like so far it's working so well. I'm very engaged in the book. It's really funny. I hope there's also a romance component. Because literally all I can consume recently is romance. I sometimes, like twice or three times a year, I get like the romance bug, and then I can only consume like romantic media for a few weeks. And that's currently where I'm at. Started a new anime last night and everything. But anyway, I'm gonna sit down now, drink my cup of coffee, wake up a bit, and read more of this book. I actually hope to finish this book today. It's not super long and it reads really quick. So I feel like I have a chance. And if I finish this, then I'll have read 2 books for this vlog, just under 500 pages, and I'll be happy with that. But anyway, time to get to reading, and I will keep you guys posted with my progress. Hi friends, I'm laundered and dressed for the day, and I'm about to actually make lunch and get some work done. But I also wanted to do a check-in of Arsenic and Adobo because I read quite a bit. I only have 100 pages left of this book. I flew through 100 and some odd pages this morning when I picked it up because it's so easy to read. So first and foremost, my statements in regards to the main character remains to be true. It's a great POV to anchor the story. But what also really shines in this book is her family, her aunties, her friends, and just the community. So in the space where her auntie's restaurant is, there's a bunch of other restaurants of people who live in the community, and in her effort to investigate, we're going to all these different places. She's eating all this different, again, delicious sounding food, and just kind of like getting to know their experience with this person who died as well, and trying to dig a little deeper. On top of all of that, the actual mystery is rather intense, and like the consequences are infuriating. Like anytime our main character Lila is like having to interact with anyone from the investigators like handling this case, it makes you want to scream because there's clearly something else going on, and as Lila begins to investigate more, it's very much hard to ignore, and the intensity of the investigation just goes higher and higher and higher. And like the conspiracy is not just like her family's restaurant, it seems to be like community oriented or even larger than that, which makes this book just really hard to put down. I love the family component. I love how community oriented this book is too. Like obviously outside of the crime element, like that's not great, let's root that out. But seeing like different restaurant owners and just different members of the community like kind of come together and either commiserate or just relate to one another. It's definitely very heavy on like the small town politics and also the good and the bad that comes with small town politics, in that, you know, you're close together, you're working together, but there's also prejudice and kind of unspoken rules that has existed in this town. On top of all of that, you know, crime and such, there does seem to possibly be a hint at a romance. Which I'm curious to see how that's going to develop. I feel like I kind of understand and have kind of guessed the plot twist of this book, but I'm not sure, one. And two, I feel like the journey of this is where the fun exists. So I'm just curious to see like where it's going to go, how things are going to be revealed. And I just am craving Filipino food so bad. Like so bad. But yeah, this is definitely living up to all the hype. I've read 180 pages so far, so quick. So it's definitely a speedy read as well. But Matilda, do you have anything to add? No? All right, so I am going to make some lunch. Leftover rice can only mean one thing: fried rice. And I'm using more of my Korean spring onion too, which I am very excited about. So, cheers. And all done. Of course, I threw in my leftover spam as well. Incredible. Alrighty guys, time to finish this book. Hi friends, and welcome to the end of the vlog. The next day, I just wanted to quickly pop in and wrap up everything I was able to read over the course of this vlog. First and foremost, I didn't get to a page of The Last Argument of Kings, but I did read the entirety of 2 other books, which I'm pretty jazzed with. I'm gonna start with my final thoughts on Arsenic and Adobo by Mia P. Manansala. I liked this. I thought I had a beat on the actual mystery from the beginning, and while I definitely guessed aspects of this, the overall like major plot twist in this I was not anticipating, which I always feel like is a successful thing to come across in a mystery leading novel. 2, I really felt like this book really kept the family-centric aspect of this story. We're following our main character Leela, who's had to move back home from her life in Chicago, and she's struggling with a bit of an identity crisis, and she has to kind of confront some of her own biases in regards to her town, the expectations that she puts on herself and how those perhaps can extend to other people, and maybe realize that there's more than one path in life that one can take. And seeing her go on that journey, reconnect with her family and her friends, was really lovely. Of course, all of this is happening in the backdrop of what turned into a very intense like murder mystery investigation. I thought it was going to be like a little lower key, like a little cozier than this, but like the plot twist, the players, the directions that this small town mystery went into was pretty wild. Let's just say that. But honestly, I was entertained. I know this is the first book in a series. I think there's gonna be more books, maybe set in this town, following the same characters, I'm not sure. But I really loved the combination of food, family, and murder. It was a fun one and I really liked it. And then obviously I read the entirety of Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater. This was delightful, exactly what I was hoping it would be when I picked the first book up in this series, and I can't wait to read more. I own 2 other books written by this author set following different characters in this world. It's just such a winning concept with such good execution. If you like Regency romance, anything, this is so cute and so much fun. But all in all, I think I was actually able to read just over 500 pages, which I will take, and 2 more books knocked off the TBR for the month as well. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you soon with another one soon. Goodbye.